This product is an aggregator of many communication products that we use on a day-to-day basis. Several of them are aggregated, and I was talking to a colleague, and what I said was this: we were earlier, so if you're working and you have to work uninterrupted to be more effective in your job, to be immersed in your job, or to attain the flow state, as they call it, so that you can be at your best, you need to have the interruptions go away and focus only on your job. What this communication product was doing was, all the communication products tend to do is to notify you and interrupt you from that flow. What this integrated product was doing was, it was efficient in interrupting you. So it was great in what it was doing, which is interrupting you. Instead of getting interrupted by 7 different applications, you're getting interrupted by one application 7 times. So it's not doing the right thing. It's doing the wrong thing, but very efficiently. So thank you so much for that. This is something that I learned from you. One question regarding invention to innovation. I think you sort of answered this question already, but I still would like to ask this is your example of the concept of James Watt's steam machine to Stephenson's steam engine locomotive working is 55 years. Is this 55 years spent in this is my guess, is to pick out the right alternative that really works, stands the test of time, or is it setting up of the ecosystem in which the invention works? Is that why it takes 55 years? I'm not able to rationalize what is going on in this 55 years.
Yeah, thank you very much for this question. Because, if you ask this question, different people from different background, they will answer differently. If you ask engineers, the engineers say, okay, we needed additional inventions in order to improve efficiency of this engine. If you ask people from social science, they said, no, we need these years in order to demand will appear. But in fact, everything happens in the same time. They don't work differently. From one point of view, within these 55 years, of course, some new inventions appear which improve efficiency of low pressure machine of Mr. Watt, make it more affordable. From another point of view, the knowledge of people who are capable to build such machine, the more and more people become capable to build such machine, the knowledge grows, it needs time. In the same time, the demand appear for the transportation. Do you remember the history of locomotive was most impressive in United States, where we have a much longer distance in the country and less developed infrastructure. Because infrastructure in Europe, we already had the canals. Okay, through canals we could transport the goods. When in US, to build canals for so long distance was not so economically interesting. So the demand started to grow. Everything happens, and when Stephenson he started to build all of this, his plan, the infrastructure was already prepared, ready to start. We already had steel production for the railroad. We already had knowledge. We already had regulation, which is very important. The regulation, the laws, which protect the Mr. Stephenson when he starts to suggest his product on the market. So these 55 years, it happens not only to improve technology, but to improve knowledge, to improve legislation and infrastructure altogether, and of course, to to have a demand which will, in fact, boost the evolution of the technology. Because the innovation, do you remember, an innovation happens when we have customers who are ready to pay for this product or for this service, because this one show us better performance than before. Did I answer the question, Bob?
Yes, absolutely. So now I get it. So many things are happening, and one is like we have often discuss the T's, which I'm sure we're going to cover in the subsequent modules also. Technology, environment, economical, and societal. So all of these factors play a big role in bridging, not bridging the gap. That's what is happening between this invention to innovation. Um, Another topic again that I know for a fact that both of us like this topic is hindsight bias, particularly hindsight bias. Now that we are armed with all this knowledge about history and about how things have evolved, particularly if say somebody is interested in predicting the future, rather doing a technology forecast for a particular technology, is this bringing in bias from their past? Are we introducing bias by now even starting to study this? And the hindsight bias, is it going to start to play? I know, I'm sure we're going to address this later on also, but I just want to get this thinking started for our learners.
Yeah, we always start with our biases, but what is a real challenge for the forecasting? We need to find a team of collaborators who will provide necessary knowledge from technological context, from economic context, from social and from environmental context. And they have to be efficient enough in order to work together. And this is a success of technological forecast. Technological forecast is not possible just from point of view of economist or from point of view of specialist in technology. All the trial to do so for the long term was not so much successful. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Dimitri. Thank you so much.